It's your boy Gabriel Hodder. Matthew Omen. We are all fight, no fight, primal fear. And you're watching BJ and DG Talk Wrestling. Yeah!
Welcome back, everybody. DJ here. DG over there.
What's going on, everybody? And sometimes, as always, Chef the Ref with his Fago.
Yeah, root beer today. Crack that open. Let's ring the bell and get this talk started.
Oh, that was supposed to disappear, but it didn't.
Did not disappear at all.
No, it didn't.
One of those shows today.
Off the rails early.
Love it.
Disclaimer. I'm watching the Eagles game.
Tara,
Yeah, there's
how
a
you
distraction.
doing?
Hello.
Hey, Tara.
And there goes my phone. Had to get it out my system
right off
early.
the bat. Getting everything out of our systems or just starting early. I don't know about getting out of our systems.
But yeah, what a week for mainstream wrestling.
Indeed.
Yeah. We have new champions, tons of new champions all over the place.
Yeah, and let's start with Monday Night Raw.
All right. And what's up first on the rundown we got?
For Monday Night Raw, let's talk about the opening match, because that was the first title change of the week. Rhea Ripley and Io Sky defeating the Kabuki Warriors to become women's tag team champions.
I liked it. I wasn't really surprised by it. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised by either team winning it, but I was definitely happy to see Rhea and Io getting the titles.
It definitely creates an interesting situation now going into WrestleMania, where if they are the champions going into WrestleMania, there's a good chance that they're defending those titles and neither of them will be in the main women's championship match, which would be for the first time in 3 years. Neither of them would be in that world title picture.
Fine with that. Let some new blood up in there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'm just pointing out. I thought the match itself though was really good. It was a really good start to the night, considering that we knew we still had a world championship match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Plus, if you are getting them into the WrestleMania picture, you're kind of getting a 2-for-1 there, having them as the tag title holders. So you get them both in on one slot, and you have space for 2 more women to occupy that world title spot.
Which, Stephanie Vaquer is right now one of those.
Who appeared to be wearing a boot coming out this week on Raw.
Yeah. Not sure what's up with that exactly, but yeah, never good.
Just real quick, I know I popped the comment up. What's up, Steven Chambers? How you doing, sir?
Hello.
Yeah, I'm excited to see where this goes, considering how much they've been heating up that women's tag team division in the last couple months.
Yep.
They've actually put some booking behind it, which is more than we've seen in a really long time with it.
Huh.
Ooh, that is an interesting prediction there.
I like it.
As the last couple weeks, I've started leaning more toward the Raquel babyface run is coming. But I think that
That'll be after Liv beats her for it.
No, I think it could be more of a situation where we really start seeing that crumble, maybe in the Rumble match. Like, what if it comes down to Liv and Raquel as the final 2?
Yeah.
Definitely.
And what happens?
Yeah. Who does Roxanne side with if she's not in the match or has been eliminated?
Yeah, do they form a little Tejana coalition or something? What's going to go on?
There's definitely a lot to talk about within that division right now. Because they're definitely I get it's WrestleMania season, so everything's getting turned up. But the well-timed return of Liv Morgan definitely throws a wrench into certain things of what you would think was going to happen. And now you're like, oh, we now have her back, and she's going to be gunning for that championship.
Absolutely. Yeah, Liv's always had eyes for that gold, and that's when she came back. She made her intentions clear, I thought. So yeah, not surprised by any of that.
Who do you see right now as the immediate top people or top team that could beat Rhea and Io right now?
Well, if it was a year ago, I'd say Party Girl.
Who?
The Party Girls. Remember them?
Nope.
The two with the no personalities, except Party.
Nope.
No bells.
Nope.
No whistles. No shirt guns. Not bringing anything.
Wait. A shirt gun? The only person I remember coming out with something like a shirt gun was China way back in the Attitude Era. But that was more shot like sparklers and stuff.
But in today's environment, I could see Charlotte and Alexa possibly, if they're if their team holds together, which it doesn't seem like it really is going to. But beyond that, you know what? Why, if Raquel doesn't have the women's title, then why not Raquel and Roxanne?
No, that makes a lot of sense. I think my top team right now, actually, to win those titles, especially if it doesn't happen until WrestleMania, is Nia Jax and Lash Legend. I feel like they're putting some real momentum behind them right now.
Yep.
Yeah, Steven Chambers in the chat also agrees with that. And it's a really good starting point.
B-Fab and Michin.
For that team.
Yo, you mean the injury crew?
Who are both injured thanks to Jade. Jade took care of that situation.
Yeah, neither one of them's getting a title shot.
How about Chelsea and Alba?
I wouldn't mind seeing them as tag title.
I wouldn't mind it neither. But at the same time, I look at it and I'm like, they got Chelsea doing so many things right now. She just dropped the U.S. title. And it seems like Alba Fire is just the one to take the majority of the pinfalls in that group right now.
Plus, Chelsea's husband's back, so,
Boy, and we'll be talking about him a little bit later. So, another thing I didn't have on the rundown this week that looking at my notes I want to bring up. How about Gunther coming out with that Cena tapped like a B-word shirt on? Oh, man. I'm sorry, he wasn't wearing it. I think he was just holding it like Cena would hold the towel up.
Yeah. Gotta love the heel he's getting right now. And he is just naturally going for it. And, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And this match with AJ is going to be really good.
Oh, man. When AJ came out and slapped him, I was like, that's great.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's just to me now, it does seem like there could be some credence to something we've talked about the last couple weeks with whether or not AJ's contract when it ends, that if they're stepping up to do this, and let's just say this match happens at the Rumble, which for some reason I think they're going to try to hold it off at least to Elimination Chamber and mix some stuff in between. That because AJ's appearing on the first TNA Impact this Thursday on AMC, which is a big deal.
Yes,
that's a huge deal because this isn't a pay-per-view or a PLE, whatever we want to call it. This is just normal TV. It's their first episode.
First episode of the AMC era, because now everybody has eras.
I'm happy for TNA in this situation. They deserve to be on a channel that everybody gets.
But everything's got to be an era now.
It's kind of always been like that. It was like that back in the 90s, too. You know, we had the golden era with Hogan, Macho Man, and all them. And then what was it? Like the new generation era. Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Razor, Diesel, 1, 2, 3 Kid, all them. And then we got the Attitude Era. And then to get the F out era.
That's all WWE branding themselves. This is now another company saying, "Hey, we've got eras now too."
Well, they do. I mean, like,
did WCW also did it when Vince Russo took over?
Yeah, TNA had the NWA era, the Anthem era. You know, like there's definitely like distinct periods of time.
All right.
Yeah, WCW did the same thing.
Okay.
You know, I feel like if TNA does things right, not that they're going to be competition for WWE because they don't need to be working with them.
No.
But they could be competition to AEW being on a major night where they can be seen everywhere now.
Oh, yeah. AMC gets a lot of exposure. I mean, especially after The Walking Dead. That was the number one thing that really got them over as a network.
That and Breaking Bad.
Yeah. Yeah, those two shows were definitely 1 and 2, whatever order you have them personally. And so they bring brand recognition to the wrestling product, and I think that's actually going to help TNA very greatly.
Yeah. Back to Raw, though. Let's now talk about what is probably could be creating a new segment for the show in the future. The worst thing I saw this week. and also, ironically enough, in all of 2026 so far. And
it's not a very long year yet.
Yeah, but this could make it to the end of the year as being the worst thing I saw. And that's this Becky Lynch and Maxine Intercontinental title match. I'm not sure of who to blame on what, because it seemed like on both sides it was like Becky really wasn't trying. And then at the same time, it seemed like Maxine was just either out of place or just the moves didn't look good.
The whole thing was pretty much just a pile of wet farts.
That's being nice.
I'm being PG.
Doesn't work for me, brother.
I mean, you want me to go hard R, I can.
You just made the list!
As I figured.
And the worst thing for me was the finish of the match. To be perfectly honest. Because the way the pinfall happened, it's like you couldn't lift up your left arm. There was no weight on it at all. There was no way that the leverage that Becky Lynch had on the ropes would have stopped that. See, that might be more applicable. A dog's silent farts.
Yeah. 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 Nothing yet. We're just starting to level up.
Dummy. Yeah.
But it was a god-awful match. I did appreciate Becky's outfit, though. So for those that don't know, Becky's outfit from Monday Night Raw was homage to her appearance in the new Star Trek series that starts later this week. Star Trek Starfleet Academy. And she has a role on the show. So her outfit was based off the costumes for the show. For her gear for Monday Night Raw. Which I thought was kind of cool. And then that was probably the coolest thing I saw before the bell rang.
All right.
I honestly hope this feud is done.
But are you also hoping that she doesn't ruin the Star Trek show?
No, I don't think her role's not that big. So it has Paul Giamatti and a couple other actors that I like. So, and I mean, I'm going to be honest. I watched the trailer and I had to watch it 3 times before I realized what character she was.
Is she playing Scotty?
No.
because she's Irish.
Wow, don't say that in front of a Scotsman or woman.
Or an Irishman.
Moving on. I won't bring nothing up about being ginger or anything, but
Not that it's in your name.
you know, and I really don't want to put, just as a fan, a lot of what I saw on Maxine because she's still young. She's still learning all this stuff. And the fact that Becky couldn't make her look better in that match. Like,
Yeah.
we've seen firsthand with our own eyes what it looks like with somebody who has years of experience and having 20 matches total and then looking like $1 million.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We've seen the veteran versus the rookie happen a lot of times. And yeah. Ginger ale. All right. There's merchandising right there.
Oh, hold on. I forgot to add that. Give me a moment. I got to pull up a graphic because of that.
Oh, no.
That was made. And credit for this graphic does go to House of Clock, as a matter of fact.
Hold up.
Waiting with bated breath.
Well,
you know, I'm working on it.
Man,
Calm
you made
down
it sound
there,
like you
though.
had it at the ready.
No, I said I had to go grab it.
what's it in the other room?
Yes, it is completely in a different room.
In the computer. So simple.
It's in a different StreamYard room.
There it is.
Nice.
Extra zing.
Oh no, we're gone.
Thank God.
Bye.
Yeah, I know those stupid marks. Thank God they're not on the screen.
We're all in
anymore.
catering. Damn, we're back.
I do think this will be a good year for Maxine. It's just a matter of putting her in the ring with the right talent, and I think somebody good for her to feud with, who I would love to see come back as heel, is Natty. Especially with this other persona she does outside WWE. It's time for WWE to use that because it's good.
They had those vignettes with Maxine training with Natty. So
What was I gonna say?
makes sense.
I think
Words.
Maxine, like, she is gonna have a big year, but she's reached her ceiling. I don't think she goes any higher than, the women's Intercontinental.
Yeah, if she goes over to SmackDown, the U.S. title.
Yeah, I don't
You're
see
right,
maybe a women's
Tag title.
title run, but like I don't see her in.
Not right now. I can't see it right now. I'm not going to say she's hit her ceiling yet. But my issue again is just this feud with Becky. And if this is the end of it and Becky getting the title back, it made her look weak in the situation of how that match happened. Being that pinfall that she could have kicked out of because there was no leverage on her other shoulder. Like,
Yeah.
that spot was horribly done. Of among other spots in that match as well.
You're not wrong.
Considering the fact that everything we saw beforehand wasn't the greatest, but it wasn't that.
Yeah, you're not wrong at all.
What if I don't see her winning Money in the Bank, but I see her being one, like maybe like that second to last person who's up there before the ladder gets pushed over and she goes through a pile of tables.
Sure, I could see something like that.
Yeah, if she would even be in the match.
I see no reason why she wouldn't be in the match.
Yeah, if she doesn't have a title, if she doesn't have a title match or any sort of rivalry match, yeah, sure, throw her in the
Yeah,
Rumble.
I mean, the women's division is pretty slim.
And she's one of those people who you could potentially put, let's say she loses her qualifying match, right? And you take all the losers after the qualifiers, and you're like, hey, we have one more spot left. So we're throwing all the losers into a battle royal.
And have her win that battle royal to make it.
Yeah, I'd be all right with that.
Natty and Maxine as a tag team, as long as it leads to a Natty heel turn.
Yeah, maybe a Maxine and Natty heel turn.
No,
Yeah, like
I-
she turns against Otis and
They-
Tozawa.
They come out in face paint and like just beat people up.
Face paint.
so they
Oh, you
just
mean
hurt
makeup?
people. So they just hurt people is what you're saying.
Yeah,
They hurt bitches.
there's a hurt.
But
bit-
yeah,
no, that's not gonna work.
I'm guessing that this whole thing of Becky Lynch getting that belt back is leading to her and AJ Lee probably at WrestleMania.
Yeah,
I feel like that's the logical progression to go with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it also does seem like after this week, WWE's not trying to be obvious no more. Whatever plans they had have at least 50% changed now between the shows. Because, like I said last week, I felt like coming out of War Games, we kind of had a clear-cut idea of where things were going. And then what happened with Cody and Drew, which we'll talk more about later.
I don't know
and
what happened
stuff.
with Cody and Drew.
Oh, a lot. It definitely does put a wrench into things.
I don't know.
That could be the case. That could definitely be the case too. We could see that match at Saturday night's main event. I keep forgetting that that's still a thing. Which apparently, just
yeah,
real quick
Cena's
to bring
gone,
that,
but Saturday
those
night's main
Saturday
event's still
night-
gonna
yeah.
happen.
apparently Saturday night's main event and NXT PLEs are still going to be on Peacock for the time being.
So I can't get rid of it yet.
So confused.
Yes, you know. At least Captain Heel popped in last week and told us he finally found that last half hour of Collision that just disappeared.
Right?
At least we had one thing solved.
Thankfully.
Let's see. Yes, we were kind of talking about, I think, before the show or right as we started, Stephanie Vaquer coming out in the boot
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, just to end up getting attacked by Raquel.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know what the injury is. Obviously, if she's in a boot, then it's not right.
Das Boot.
I like that down there.
Okay, yeah. All
I don't
right.
know. It just doesn't make no sense. It makes sense, but it doesn't make sense to me at the same time. Like, unfortunately, I could see that as a total WWE move. But just in the storytelling, all of a sudden,
Just want to see her in face paint.
Why? She already wears makeup.
Sure.
why don't we just make her a party girl?
No, wouldn't work for her.
Yeah, she got a better personality.
Not by much.
That has nothing to do with it, but whatever.
I don't even know if that's PG.
Yeah, probably not. I mean, that's the whole idea behind Playboy, right?
Let's see. And then let's talk about the World Heavyweight title match from this week on Raw, because that was a really good match. I liked CM Punk's entrance with the Steiner Brothers jacket from like SummerSlam. Oh, that was so good.
I need a beer. A non-alcoholic beer. I'll be right back.
Yeah. The dry January continues.
Which this match saw a lot of moving parts. We had Division getting involved. We had Dragon Lee, Penta, and Ray Jr. coming out. You know, I disagree with that. I think if you put the belt on Braun, if they had put it on him on Raw, he would fall into that mid-2000s Randy Orton territory where you put the rocket on him too quick and let him get that big win beforehand. Because Braun's doing really good chasing right now.
Yeah.
And if I'm looking at anything going on, if it's one thing that it seems like hasn't changed course yet, which we will know in the next couple weeks, is that CM Punk and Braun Breaker at WrestleMania. Braun Breaker wins that title off Punk at Mania.
That's an even bigger spot, yeah. Even
Yeah.
bigger for it makes him, yeah. Yeah, that vaults him from, okay, he's really good to, yeah, this guy's great.
Like it's nothing against Braun, not at all, because he's doing some of the best work I've seen him do since debuting in NXT.
Mm-hmm.
Seth versus Theory at Mania if Seth is able to go. Because if that's the case and Seth's able to go, we should get Seth Roman. Because you go back to your original plan, Seth's no longer aligned with the vision, so he's on his own in that case.
I still go with my belief that Theory's a plant for Rollins.
I kind of like that,
Would
especially
be a
if
fun
it leads,
twist.
especially if it leads to something post WrestleMania.
That's why he came out and did the stomp and everything.
Yeah, that was a little hint.
Because he wanted to put it in people's mind that it could be Rollins, and then they're like, "Oh, it's not Rollins, but he's working on Rollins' behalf." But it's not. No. The way I explained that was just awful. I'm sorry.
And again, I could definitely see that being somewhere down the line, but I think that a Seth return can go one of two ways if it happens, and he's able to go at Mania. We still get Seth Roman at Mania, which would make sense of changing the gears if Cody's not going to be champion. You know, Roman has no reason to chase Cody at this point.
Right.
You know, if anything, he's going to be chasing Drew.
Unless he wins the Rumble.
Even then, all right, in the case that Roman does win the Rumble, I think he goes after CM Punk. And not
If
Drew
Punk
McIntyre.
is still champion.
I think CM Punk's champion, unless he loses it at the Rumble for some reason, which at the moment, because he just defended the title, I don't see him defending the title at the Rumble. I see that they could push that back to Saturday night's main event.
Yeah, make that draw it out a little more.
You know, because we'll have 2 Rumble matches, plus, now we know a WWE Championship match.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no reason to really put the world title on that show, outside of just having CM Punk there to come out after the men win the Rumble. You know, whatever. You know, 'cause they like to do that every once in a while, parade the champions out in front of the winner.
Yeah.
Especially if somebody like Roman or Braun wins it. I definitely see CM Punk coming out and standing at the top of the entranceway.
Yeah.
It's like, I like the idea that they're mixing things up now, because last year we were pretty dead on at where things are going. Like, our conversation wasn't this specific conversation. Yes, they did.
Wow.
Yeah. I saw that a little bit before I hopped on, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I wasn't about to go to that. They didn't announce any matches, and it was $36. They announced Luke Gallows, Danny Doring, like a bunch of people. I don't really care one way or another. Like, I'm not going to pay to see. I'm not paying $36 to see them. Yeah, they didn't advertise anything.
I'm going to be honest. I would go see Festus wrestle.
I wouldn't mind seeing Luke Gallows, but not for $36.
I wouldn't mind seeing Festus, but
if there were
Gallows,
at least, but if that's the only advertised match, you're like,
no, there weren't even any advertised matches. He was just advertised to be there.
Yeah, see, that's one thing, that if there's not at least a title match or something interesting, you can't just announce people and be like, well, this will put butts in seats.
yeah, sometimes it does. Sometimes it just does not.
Yeah, this is an interesting situation currently happening, where not only Saudi building crews, but WWE people as well are rushing to finish getting this stadium built in the next even the next
I thought
20
only
days.
the World Cup ran like that in the Olympics.
But do we see Braun Breaker back in the title picture by WrestleMania?
I could see it going both ways, but if not, there would have to be a good reason.
All right,
Like
so
some kind of storyline that takes him out of it.
well, right now he should be at the back of the line. He just lost.
Well, yeah.
So there's two ways to get him back in it, right? He wins the Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
Or if a SmackDown, say Jacob Fatu wins the Rumble and he instantly just picks Drew, that opens up the Braun to win the Elimination Chamber, which if he's in that match, I would have to say, regardless of who's in it, he has to be the top favorite to win it.
Yeah, right up there. I'm not sure who else you would have beating him in the Elimination Chamber, because you assume that if he's going in there, then you would have, which we call Fatu winning the Rumble. That would make sense, and that would take Fatu out of Elimination Chamber.
Yep. Even if Jericho returns, I don't see him winning the Rumble.
No, I don't think they put him back into the world title mix. I feel like if he were to come back, it's a retirement tour type of thing, of course, but he could also be used to help out some of that younger and mid-card talent to develop. So I think they would rather have him in like that IC or US belt title area.
CM Punk versus Jericho at Mania.
No.
I said it last week. That's if neither are champion, that's a feud I wouldn't mind seeing revisited.
Sure, but not with the belt.
And even if there's a belt on the line, Jericho's always been one of those people who he's either at the top of the mid card or he's in the middle of the main event picture, constantly intertwined between both. He's somebody who you can put any belt on and he's instantly elevating everything around it.
Yeah. Which is why I think he's better suited for this run if it does come to fruition as an IC or US in one of those title pictures. That way he helps bring up the young talent while he also, if he wins the belt and ever has guys chasing him for it, that's cool.
Even with Jericho on tour with Fozzy in England, we've seen it where, like, what was it? Jericho Cruise, the Royal Rumble weekend last year, where everybody's like, oh, Joe Hendry's not showing up. I'm like, it's not that difficult to figure it out if he's not advertised for the beginning of the cruise directly. Cruise ships do make stops along the way.
Yeah, they do. Ports.
And what ended up happening? Joe Hendry appears in the Royal Rumble. So it's not all that unheard of. And even if that's the case, I don't see
missed another one. Oh, wait, no,
I don't have the
that?
TV
okay,
on.
Sorry,
So...
he made that. Sorry, he made it. Never mind.
Yeah. I don't have the TV on, so all I know is what BJ's doing right now.
13-7.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting just to see how that whole thing plays out. Because again, since he didn't return past Monday night, I don't see him returning now to the Rumble.
Yeah, it'll be in the Rumble.
If he has signed, and again, I think he comes out number 1 or number 2. So that you get the moment and it's not rushed.
Yeah.
Because
that'd be cool.
That would be one of the good surprises, because we've seen it like that in the past. Where somebody's returned and they return at number 1 or 2 so that they get their moment to be able to have an actual entrance and not come out. Because for Jericho, they're not going to kill the lights in the entire arena during a Rumble match.
No, they can't do that. But yeah, they were to bring him back in like the number 2 slot, and he comes out there, then you could have several tailor-made feuds coming out of that with whoever he throws over or whoever throws him out.
And even speaking of Jericho at the moment, he said something in an interview recently, I think it was sometime this past week, that he would be willing to he wants to work with TNA as well.
Okay.
So not only is a Jericho return not fully out of the question, is there a chance that we get to see a major name who's not a former TNA talent actually go work with TNA. Like Chris, there's a couple good matchups over there for him to have.
Sure.
Am I the only one on Monday night who thought that he returned when Penta was out there?
Yes.
I was
Yes.
waiting for him to unmask and it be Jericho.
I saw a meme that, funny enough, that hey, Jericho did return on Monday night, and it was Penta's picture from Monday night, and then from him in AEW when he was dressed as Penta.
That was the first thing I thought when I saw Penta out there. I was looking at his tattoos, like, is that Penta?
I don't see, especially that far into the Rumble, and you're going to cut the lights out. That means everything's stopping for that.
Yeah, they would be grateful for that. They would get to take a breather.
I just don't see it. I think you'll get a better pop at the beginning of the men's Rumble match for it than in the middle of it.
Nah.
I think because by the time you get to the back end of the Rumble, especially if the men's Rumble's the main event, you've already seen one Rumble match, probably a cool down match, a WWE Championship match with Drew and whoever he ends up facing, and then you're going to do the Jericho return in the beginning of it before the fans are just completely dead.
Yeah.
Well, if you're booking the Rumble right, the crowd should be crescendoing.
Exactly. I could see it working in the middle.
But then, it also being an overseas show, regardless of it being Saudi or not, sometimes those rules do go out the window.
True.
If it's any other number, I'm going to sit there and say he could return at where you'd return him at 3. 1, 2, 3, or 30. Now, if you're going to kill the lights at 30, I'm cool with that. To kill the lights at 30 if he's the last person to come out.
Yeah, because then he can take his sweet old time coming to the ring.
Well, he can
And
anyway.
it would be in such Jericho fashion that, oh, I'm smart enough. I made sure when I signed my contract, I was going to be number 30 and return in the Rumble. You know, just so all the spotlight would be on him. And that's another thing. Do we get a heel Jericho or a babyface Jericho?
I hope we don't know for a while. But he's there all the time, but we have no idea.
Yeah, that would be fun. Just like he's going after whoever, whenever, whatever.
Charlotte was announced as returning in the Rumble match. So she was expected to be there, and she was also just coming off injury, so her coming out at 30 made sense. Because they didn't want her doing a lot and then re-injure herself before a big match. But boy, did we get some great moments with her and Tiffy after that.
Yeah. Yep.
I just unless Jericho has some new type and they have a whole new spiel for him, because let's be honest, he hasn't really done the lights out thing since leaving WWE.
Yeah, I don't know if it would be a lights out worthy moment.
I mean, I think you would, if he's coming out wearing the jacket, they're killing the lights.
I mean, I would just love, like, lights or no lights, just hearing Judas and just hearing the pop for Judas before he even comes out.
What I would love is just with the music is you do the old school Jericho countdown.
Right. Yeah, but then
and you
give
count
it
it down, and then you hit break the walls down, but instead of his music hitting, it goes into Judas.
But then you lose the whole Judas pop. Because as soon as the countdown comes on, there's the pop.
You're not going to, not if it hits break the walls down and it's the words to his original theme song first, and then it goes into Judas. That's what they did with Randy Orton's theme song. If you listen to Randy's theme song, the beginning of his original theme song is in the very beginning of his current theme. They never ditched it.
Yeah, I get that, but I don't know.
Well, they incorporated his song.
Yeah, so you could
there's lots of times they've taken the melody from someone's Bobo ass wrestling music theme song and rockified it and made it actually sound good. Like, look how many
Orton's-
versions of The Rock's music there's been.
Yeah, and they all sound the same.
And you're going for 3 pops. You're getting greedy with it.
How am I going for 3 pops? You're doing you don't even
The pop for
technically
the
need
countdown, the pop for the break the walls down, and the pop for Judas. You're going for 3. Don't be greedy, man. Just stick with one moment, one thing to pop.
It's
Yeah,
all in the
yeah.
one moment of Jericho's return.
But,
And
but
anyway,
you're cheapening each individual pop.
Now, let's be honest. They're not going to do the Jericho countdown clock because they're already going to have a countdown clock. The second you
Right.
hit his countdown clock, everybody's already going to know. But if you just hit
What I
break the
said.
walls down and then hit Judas again, if we're going to talk about people popping for theme songs,
I don't think the break the walls down is necessary in that case. I mean, they would pop bigger just for Judas.
it's WWE making sure their fingerprint is still on it.
I
That's
think
all
they should
that
just
is.
reuse Break the Walls Down.
Oh yeah,
Not
I
even
mean-
worry about Judas.
I mean, honestly, I would rather them use Judas because I think it fits Jericho better now.
I mean, you could update Break the Walls Down for today easily
Oh, yeah.
enough. You know, just come back with a new version of that.
Why not? They're in Saudi. They have to be spoiled.
Hmm.
I mean, hey, yeah, the Prince of Saudi's going to get. If the Prince of Saudi wants 3 pops in one entrance, he's going to get 3 pops in one entrance. Let's be honest here. He's already trying to buy Stone Cold and The Rock for WrestleMania next year. RT Rick, hello. How are you doing?
Hello.
Which, by the way, real quick, don't forget, if you like what you're seeing and hearing today, to like and subscribe. Just not here, but on Twitch, Instagram, and now also on Facebook, all at BJDG Talk Wrestling. Look us up, give us a follow. We are consistently posting things from indie shows and wrestling stuff alike. So give us a follow. It'll put a smile on BJ's face. Yeah, that was the wrong pitch. 'Cause nobody wants to see him smile. But yeah, let's talk about a couple things from NXT now. Because NXT was
Sure.
an interesting show this week, wasn't it?
Yup.
The show was originally going to open up with the Women's North American Championship rematch between Blake Monroe and Thea Hail, which Blake Monroe comes out, attacks her, and gets herself kicked out the building. I've
Kinda
seen a
cruise
lot.
yourself over there.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of speculation recently that could Blake Monroe just be getting called up.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with RT Rick there. I don't think
I
it's in
guess
for the
I'll take
Rumble.
it.
Yeah. No, yeah. Like I said,
I'm
if
not
it wasn't
sure if
on
that's a
this,
compliment or not.
if he didn't appear on Stranger Raw, because there was nothing really strange about it outside that they did the whole setup, for Stranger Things, which,
It's hilarious
whatever.
that there was a lights out match on Dynamite.
Yeah, you couldn't get the like. We talked about it last week. Like, it would have made sense for the Wyatts to appear on Raw during that, even in just a backstage segment, or just be lurking somewhere during a match. But anyway, a little bit to go through. So Thea Hail is in the back after she gets jumped. Thea still wants to wrestle. Ava's telling her no. Thea talks her into an open challenge.
Yeah.
And
Brilliant.
and as this goes on, and we get through all this, this supports why doing an open challenge is a stupid idea, especially in Thea's situation. At least whoever's United States champion is healthy when they're doing it.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
And before we get to that open challenge, we have Tatum Paxley versus Izzy Dane. Great match. I thought they had a great match on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Tatum
Yep, very
picks up
good.
the big win, gets her revenge.
Yep.
And now we fast forward to the Women's North American Championship Open Challenge. Thea comes out and says the first person to get to the ring gets the shot at the championship. You have all the women. And then you have Tatum Paxley coming out with the chainsaw, which was absolutely great. And she's standing right
Loved
in
it.
front of the ring. And then Izzy Dame comes out of nowhere, hits Thea, and was the first person in the ring.
Yep.
I got some really funny though that the props of the Stranger Things series, and they came and get a couple. Yep, that the coolest thing out of everything they did for that was that championship belt.
Well,
I
the
really
whole cast
like-
is in retirement homes now.
They're only
the show
20,
started 50 years
21.
ago, right?
Yeah. We're on season, 5? It's been, 50?
No,
50
they finished season. They just finished the final season. I actually finished it the other day. Like what the F, Netflix? Nah, a single one of them wanted to come.
I'm like 3.5 seasons behind on that show, so I did not get a single one of the Stranger Things references on Raw.
There really weren't that many true references to the show. To be perfectly honest, outside of them doing like the title screen thing and stuff. Which if you watch a couple episodes, oh, okay, I see what you're doing there.
So I didn't miss anything.
I mean, no, not at all. Let's get back on topic here. So this
Back to NXT.
Izzy Dame and Thea Hail. Like the whole time this is going, I'm like, this was a bad idea. And I'm talking to one of my buddies, I'm like, how does Thea lose his title? The first thing I'm thinking of is how has Blake Monroe gotten into a whole completely different outfit wearing a mask to hit this ring first and get back her championship, because she was kicked out of the building. So it kind of gives credence to something like that where, oh, look, the heel did something heelish and completely circumvented the system, got her title back.
Mm-hmm.
But no, instead it's Izzy Dame. Thea put up a good fight, but Izzy Dame comes out on top at the end, which is one of those rare occurrences where we see it occasionally happen, where somebody loses a match or a championship match earlier in the night and then goes on to win a championship later.
Mm-hmm.
Edge in the Elimination Chamber, he lost one title, and then I think he took Kofi's spot and then won the other championship. You had Seth Rollins lose to Randy Orton at WrestleMania 31, and then the heist of the century happened where he cashed in Money in the Bank.
Yeah. So, I mean, it happens, but yeah, here we are, new women's North American champion. I mean, Thea was an accidental champion, so to speak. But yeah, she had a good run with it. Fun little run that she now has that on her resume permanently. No one can take that away from her. And I liked it. Izzy Dame actually took it off of her, and the way they did it makes sense.
Yeah. So, yes, Thea was never meant to have the title, but I feel like after the reaction she got, especially online and everything, they should have let her have more than a 2-week run with that championship. But the way they did it, they had her get injured to open the show. They did it to where it didn't make her look weak.
Right.
You know, so I give credit to that. The other thing is while I'm picturing Izzy Dame's promo next week. Oh, I might have lost to Tatum, but I still won the Women's North American Championship. Yeah, but Tatum was the women's NXT champion. She held the title that's higher than that. You're still not equal to her, and you still haven't beaten her.
Yeah, true. So, Tatum's been in NXT for a while now. I mean, she's got like a good character going there. She's got this rivalry going with Izzy Dame right now. But do we think that she's someone who could be called up somewhere in the near future?
I think she'll be maybe, if not the next wave of talent to get called up, sometime after WrestleMania. She'll be called up about this time next year.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
I think she still needs a little bit more time. There's some character development there to still go through. Because now, the next immediate feud now, it could possibly be Tatum like, hey, I beat you. You know, so I think I should be first in line for that North American Championship.
Yeah.
Tatum
I
beat
would
Izzy Dame earlier in that show.
see, but I think Tatum would be a good first opponent for Izzy, but I also think Izzy wins that match at this
Yeah,
point.
so do I. So do I. I agree with that. I think Izzy's going to have a run with that championship for a while.
Yeah, agreed.
Tatum Paxley, I think she'll get through that and probably get moved back up into the NXT title picture.
She should.
And then something that was, I think, about that, something Blake tweeted about Ava, yes, that was removed from social media. She ended up deleting it. I kind of brought it up earlier that Blake Monroe could be main roster bound. It wouldn't surprise me. I mean, she was in AEW. She is a former world champion.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
I just don't see her ceiling on the main roster right now being a world championship. I think it's a mid-card championship. I don't think WWE sees NXT or world champion material in her yet.
Well, I mean, sure, they a prove it basis is worthy of, I mean, there are some women or men, even NXT, go straight up and you know that they are going to be worthy of going right into that title picture. But, most of them, I'll argue, belong in the mid-card title picture.
No. There are some, like Javon Evans, I don't ever see being world heavyweight champion. But I see him having a bunch of tag team and mid-card title reigns a la Kofi Kingston.
Javon could bump up into contention. It could even have potential Kofi Mania type of moment where he does win the world title.
Yeah, but I would, if it's that type of moment, we're talking 10 years down the road.
Yeah. So he builds himself up through tag teams and mid-cards until he gets to that point, which I think he could easily do by the time he's 30.
Yeah, he has a lot of room to grow still. Somebody, Steven Chambers in chat, put Blake on Raw. You know what? I would be okay with that.
Yeah, there's some good matchups for her there.
I would say this, though. I would hope it's not a long stint on Raw, or Tiffy moves over to Raw, or they end up on the same show at one point. Because either as friends or foes, I think that would be an interesting pairing.
They have somewhat similar personalities, but different sides of the coin.
Yeah, but which is why I think it would be an interesting pairing. I think it would almost be a balancing act between them, which would eventually lead to one turning on the other. Mm-hmm. But Tiffy's more babyface right now, so it would be more common sense that they would have a feud with each other.
Right.
You just don't want to bring up too many call-ups on the road to WrestleMania, and then people get lost in the shuffle to where they could have Spotlight in NXT still and still be built up a little more. Jordan Grace was there for a year by choice before getting called up.
This is why having the draft, I know, like, it didn't happen last year, but I kind of missed it, honestly. Happening after WrestleMania season, you get the shuffle and everything. You bring up NXT people. Everyone gets a little bit of an introduction to everybody at the time. And, yeah, you go from there. You build out your roster and your stories from there.
Yeah, the one thing that makes the draft nice. Now, as I've said in the past, if it's one thing I would do to change the draft, you no longer, when Raw and SmackDown are drafting, they do not draft from each other's shows. They trade between picks or trade picks for superstars, and you draft from NXT and Evolve. Or however you want, you draft
you've got NXT, Evolve, and LFG that you could pull from now. And, if you traded superstars for picks, then sure.
Or you trade superstars for superstars.
You could have, if you did trades like that, and you make it more like an actual football draft where you have like trades, but then you have your actual end draft where you're calling people up, and that also makes it a lot less rounds.
maybe not necessarily less rounds, but you're doing less picks each round. You're not doing 3 for Raw, 2 for SmackDown. You're doing 1 pick for each, or maybe 2 picks for each. You know, pending on how big. Maybe 1 pick for each would be my go-to.
I would say you could do it in a night, and you just announce like 2 picks an hour for each side, something like that between matches.
So interesting enough, something Steven Chambers has said, chat, move some Evolve wrestlers on NXT like Shawn Legacy. Well, on NXT this week, after the NXT title match, which we will be talking about next, when Ava's interrupted by Robert Stone, she's talking to the Evolve roster, and she says about Jordan being called up, Javon, Oba, Trick, that now there are spots opening in NXT, and now some of them could be called up to NXT. I like the idea of Evolve being called up to NXT and then NXT being drafted to the main roster.
Yeah. She also got a visit from the Vanity Project. So after talking to Ethan Page, he introduced her to the Vanity Project. Sent them into the office.
Wow! Just real quick, that Ethan Page segment. Oh my God! There was just so, like, you have Jasper Troy coming out, then you have Josh Briggs, and then Stax comes out. Shiloh Hill comes out. Shiloh Hill now has a title shot at the TNA International Championship this upcoming week. Tavion Heights comes out, gets a shot at the Speed Championship next week, and it's just like, can this man not cut a promo or something without being interrupted?
He had his turn. Let everyone else get a shot.
I thought Timothy Thatcher was released like a year and a half ago.
Wendy Chu was in NXT. They put her down to whatever, if it's Evolve or yeah. So I liked her in NXT.
She was on last week.
Okay, yeah, I liked her character. Yeah, I like both sides of her character. I liked the baby face when she was just coming out. I thought that was a fun gimmick. And then she turned it to the Nightmare version. I was like, yeah, that's a nice heel persona with that. And I like how she's working it. So I would definitely like to see her back in NXT.
Yeah, her new persona looked very neutral.
Okay.
Very, no face paint or anything, unfortunately.
I guess that's why I missed it.
Yeah, she didn't have a match or anything. She was just in a segment.
Okay. Yeah. I might have been distracted with other things.
It was when all the women came out for the Open Challenge.
Oh, wow, yeah. So I had to
okay.
Timothy
so she was
Thatcher.
One of the faces in the crowd?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just looked up. Timothy Thatcher is back with WWE in the Evolve brand. He occasionally competes, but he's one of their trainers down there as well.
All right, so if he's a trainer down there, then they're not necessarily looking to bring him back up to NXT. At least not right now, if they have him training people there.
Yeah, now if he's down there twisting everybody like pretzels and stuff, getting them ready to go up to NXT and the main roster, because that's the goal in the end. And whatever you're doing in Evolve should be whatever leads to you going to Raw or SmackDown. Not to sit there and say you skip ahead in your head of NXT, but by the time you get to NXT, you want to have your stuff down, so when the time comes, you get called up. But, yeah, let's talk about this NXT Championship match from this week. Oba Femi defending against current TNA X Division champion Leon Slater. And what a match it was.
Yeah. Yeah, Leon, there's no denying this kid. He is quite good. There's a reason he's got that X Division championship around his neck because that's where he carries it. And, you knew it was going to be a hell of a match, and they put on just pretty much a clinic. It was a really damn good showing.
Yeah, it was a good showing by everybody involved. Yeah, it's going to be good to see where some of that stuff goes from there. The match itself, absolutely amazing, but that's not even the big news coming out of this NXT Championship match. We get Oba posing in the ring, and then, like I talked about a couple minutes ago, Ava talking to the Evolve superstars about being called up, and Robert Stone interrupting. And now what he says to her is, "Did you just see what Oba did in the ring?" They clip back to the ring. The spotlight is still there, but it's just on the NXT title sitting in the middle of the ring. Oba Femi is not there, and the camera angle just catches Tony D'Angelo standing in the crowd looking at the championship. So, Oba
Still getting
Femi,
used to that look from Tony D.
yeah, Oba Femi has officially vacated the NXT Championship.
And Tony D'Angelo is he just came back and he's right back into that mix. I feel like, yes, he definitely belongs up there in that mix for that NXT title.
And, it makes sense since he took time off from everything that give him a little bit of run. Because if he went up to the main roster right now, I think he would be lost in the shuffle. So you let him have a good run with that championship, or at least in pursuit of that championship.
I say you put it on him.
I don't see Ricky Saints winning it back. I think they have other stuff going on with him. Ricky Saints doesn't need the championship to be relevant.
Yeah, I think Ricky is with that next round of people getting called up to main roster status. He's ready to go. They just need to keep him down in NXT a little bit longer. But yeah, after WrestleMania, not long after WrestleMania, I think we see him main roster.
BJ, any thoughts here? You've been extremely quiet.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look up the roster just to get an idea of who else might be in that world title scene.
I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe Leon Slater promoted for it. Joe Hendry. Because it doesn't look like they're rushing to call him up at the moment because they don't want to strip NXT of all its stars.
Right. So obviously Ricky Saints, Ethan Page, Joe Hendry, Briggs maybe.
I wouldn't mind seeing Tony D'Angelo versus Joe Hendry now that that's been put into my head.
For real.
Let's see here. I definitely don't think Tony D'Angelo starts another faction. I think those days are done. They all split their ways after he beat Stax and left his hat in the ring.
All right, so they have a pretty healthy world title scene right now.
Yeah.
In the absence of everyone who just went to the main roster. Yeah.
Tony D'Angelo coming back really.
Miles Bourne.
Yeah.
Miles Bourne is definitely somebody who we were talking about Maxine having a big year on Raw, possibly. Miles Bourne's going to have a good year on NXT, which hopefully it's good enough to earn him his call-up.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a good wrestler. He, has obviously overcome a disability to get where he's at now.
Which is a feel-good story automatically that connects him to the fans.
I hope he gets a call up before Orton retires because we need to see that rivalry.
Or that tag team.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean...
Which then would turn into a rivalry. Because we all know Orton doesn't really work with people well for too long. Unless you're Matt Riddle and you get fired.
Yeah, man, they never broke up.
Yeah, didn't have time to.
Poor RK Bro. I definitely like how they did it with Oba because that was a concern of mine last week when we talked about his call-up. Was the idea if he gets called up as champion, what do you do with the championship?
Right.
Because it's either you vacate it or you have to leave it on him and then figure out a way to pull it off of him without him looking weak on the main roster.
Yeah.
Which now, it seems like all signs could be pointing toward him going to Raw. Where do you debut him? Do you hold off for a couple weeks and let him debut in the Rumble as the next big Raw signing?
Yeah. they probably have their storylines all in place, and that is when new things are going to start to happen. So yeah, we'll probably see him.
Although I wouldn't be surprised to see him this week with the way he just dropped the belt in the ring.
True. Maybe cut a promo or something.
They showed the same vignette that they showed on SmackDown this past Monday night. So I think that they do have plans for him, and they're just teasing it on both shows because they don't want to give away what show he's going to. But it seems like SmackDown's already gotten 2 people. Raw has one with Javon Evans, which I'm not happy with how they did that on commercial break, but I understand the logic behind it of his signing.
Well, it was only a commercial break
viral
for us
moment.
in the States.
Yeah. Stupid marks.
I'm going to grab another beer.
All right.
Most of them already should, considering half of that NXT roster's from overseas anyway. Easy at this point. Or from Mexico.
Plus, WWE, I'm sure, has an expedited way of getting passports.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that if
they're fairly well connected.
Yeah. I'm going to say if they have plans for Femi to be in the Rumble, that 2 months ago they were already, or however long it takes, they were already in the process of doing everything, knowing the call-up was coming, knowing that they had these plans, so just to get there. Now, my question would be, we all know that if it was me booking this, my first big feud would be Brock Lesnar. Because I feel like if Brock is leaving after SummerSlam, and that's his swan song, then you kind of got to rush it a little bit and figure out how to get there in the next 2.5 months, 3 months.
SummerSlam's 6 months away.
But I don't think Oba's the last opponent for Brock Lesnar. I think that's Gunther. Gunther's the one to end Brock. And it's the final career Infinity Stone for Gunther.
I
He's out.
don't think Oba and Brock is going to happen. If it does, it'll probably just be a one-off.
Well, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like the setup. If I've learned anything, Brock Lesnar WrestleMania feuds, unless he's champion, is him. Whoever eliminates him in the Royal Rumble.
Right. Yeah.
And I will stand on top of my hill. That Oba Femi's the next coming of Brock Lesnar. I see all the same stuff in Oba that I saw in Brock Lesnar in 2002.
What if he's the next coming of Ryback?
That's a huge fall from grace. Considering Ryback wasn't even the first coming of Ryback.
It was like the 10th coming of Goldberg.
Like, ugh. There's this Oba Femi. All right, now here's the other question: do we see Oba Femi kind of go on a undefeated type streak on the main roster for a short time?
I can see that.
He should.
Now,
the guy's dominant.
So let's just say WrestleMania, Oba Femi defeats Brock Lesnar, and the match happens. Oba wins. Does that propel Oba instantly into the world title picture?
No.
Why wouldn't it? Why wouldn't it?
Because at that point, he wouldn't have racked up enough wins to really be looked at like that.
Since when does wins matter in the WWE? If that's the case, Becky Lynch would have never gotten a rematch. If that's the case, Drew McIntyre would have never gotten his match.
Well, yeah, getting matches is one thing. Yeah, I don't know.
Like I said, maybe not a match, but it puts him in that picture.
I would say it would put him in line for the Intercontinental.
Yeah, I'd say you want to put a mid-card belt on him as soon as you can. As long as you make it look legitimate. You can't just have him show up night one and beat whoever the champ is and just give him the belt that way.
I will stand on it. If he gets a mid-card championship and they do it in his debut match, that's a hell of a debut.
I don't think
it is.
But because let's look at it like this: how many people have defeated Oba Femi in NXT? Tony D'Angelo and Ricky Saints. Who else is beating Oba?
That's a good question that I don't have an answer to off the top of my head.
And those are the two names I can name off the top of my head: is Tony D'Angelo and Ricky Saints in the past year. Before that, he was undefeated.
Yeah.
Nobody had pinned or submitted him. So if he was to now leave as vacating a championship to move on to win more prestigious championships, him debuting and let's just say winning the Intercontinental Championship, that it's a bit of a big deal.
It would be.
I mean, let's
see them doing that though.
I mean, because we're not talking about somebody like Fandango who's going to debut at WrestleMania, defeat Chris Jericho, and then not be anything until the Fashion Police, and him teaming with Tyler Breeze. Gunther versus Oba, you have to wait on. You gotta let Gunther get through this storyline, retiring people first.
Yeah, that's like next Mania. I want to see that.
Yeah. At the Jason Voorhees in the chat.
Well
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Absolutely love it. But no, now I'm not going to talk about Oba debuting and calling out CM Punk and just winning the World Championship. But woo, what a swerve that would be.
Yeah,
like
he's
you
not on
want
that
to
level.
talk about. I mean, nobody. I mean, all right. So in my eyes, the way I'm making it, if I'm going to compare him to Brock Lesnar debuted the night after WrestleMania, and then at SummerSlam defeated The Rock to become undisputed champion. And we're talking what, 5-6 month run there before winning that championship.
Oba Femi is no 22-year-old Brock Lesnar.
Oba Femi's only been in the business 3 years and is better now than Brock Lesnar was in 2002.
No.
That's a debatable point.
Yes.
And but the one thing I would say is that the 2002 roster of the people for Brock to run through was much higher caliber than the roster now for Oba Femi to run through. Because Brock went through Hogan. He went through RVD to win the King of the Ring just to get that championship match. He ran through everybody undefeated.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to stick with my comparison there, but I'm not saying Oba should debut and win the championship. I definitely don't think it's a bad idea. I definitely think it's a bad idea to do it.
Because there's nowhere to go down.
Yeah, that becomes the problem. Unless you're going to give him the Goldberg treatment and let him have a streak.
Yeah.
I don't
Which let me just say this now. If anybody would deserve that at the moment in a debut type thing on the main roster, it would probably be Oba, because unlike Goldberg, Oba can actually wrestle. Oba can actually do things in the ring. He's only been doing it for 3 years. He's 3 years ahead of where Goldberg was when he debuted.
Well, Goldberg has never been good.
No, he's only ever had 3 moves.
No, but I'm just saying, like, we see it with the fans. He gets that Goldberg style chant now. So I was just paralleling that. But in the end, my parallel is to Brock Lesnar, and seeing all that athleticism and seeing everything that he's brought to the ring already. It's so close to Brock that it's almost a mere reflection. And Brock came up from OVW. We get Oba from NXT. We just have a different era. And we got to remember, the generation Brock came up with was John Cena, Batista, Shelton Benjamin, and Orton. Was that 2002 class? That all got call-ups from OVW? So we're kind of looking at this class now of just people coming up. Just in the last couple years. Braun Breaker, Dragunov, now Trick Williams, Javon Evans, who he has history with, and then we put Obafemi's name on that list. It's a pretty decent list, and that's not even including somebody like Jordy Grace, who he would never have a match with. Just to look at what's there. I could see Obafemi being a world champion by SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Would you have said the same thing in 2002, the night that Brock Lesnar debuted? Oh, Brock Lesnar's going to be world champion by SummerSlam.
Yeah.
Without ever seeing a single match of his in OVW.
Yeah.
So why don't you see it with Oba?
I just don't see it. I think rookie Brock is way ahead of where Oba was.
I disagree.
Or where Oba is.
I disagree, as in, if we're just going to talk about wrestling, yeah, Brock Lesnar was a collegiate wrestler. I've taken nothing away from Brock, but when I'm looking at the athleticism and what I'm seeing from Oba, I'm seeing that exact same intangibles I saw in Brock Lesnar in 2002.
I'm saying, but not to the extent, like, Brock did everything better.
No. I give at most they're both equal, and I would even go as far to say Oba's the more athletic of the two.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine.
Just the way I'm looking at it. I'm not taking nothing away from Brock whatsoever. But the first time we see Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar together, you're just like, oh, wow, he's eventually going to be world champion. Not that he's going to be world champion in 6 months.
Well, when you see someone with Paul Heyman. But that was before we knew.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, at that point, it wasn't like OVW was on TV here.
Right.
You know what I mean? We really had no idea who these guys were until WWE introduced us to them through vignettes or just through a random debut. Like, hi, Paul Heyman bringing out the next big thing. Like, I think that's the course that Oba's on, and he doesn't need a manager. I would hope, oh, God, that would be something. Paul Heyman to eventually betray the vision and join Oba. I don't think Oba needs it. But Oba eventually is going to need a mouthpiece, I think, on the main roster temporarily. Because a lot of his promos are very basic. And that's the one flaw I would give him, which, again, he has basic promos. Brock Lesnar couldn't cut a promo in 2002.
But Oba's a guy, you don't need him to do a lot of talking anyway.
No, you never needed Brock Lesnar to do a lot of talking either, because a lot of their actions stood out in how powerful and how dominant they were in their matches. So, all right, I'm going to take a step back. Would Oba Femi, when he debuts on whatever show, and we get past WrestleMania, would you say he's a favorite to win King of the Ring? If they do King of the Ring this upcoming year, because every year it's a debate whether they're going to do it or not.
Right.
I'd put him in as an early favorite and an early favorite.
It's a possibility.
If I was, because let's be honest, we hear guys like Cody Rhodes talk about the John Cena playbook, right? Or somebody like Matt Cardona, who's done the Drew McIntyre playbook of getting released and coming back a couple years later and being better than what he was when he left, right? You never hear anybody say the Brock Lesnar playbook of things.
That wasn't a playbook. That was just a freak thing.
Yeah. So now you have somebody you can take that to and give that style of booking to. My question just is, because I have a feeling we're going to see him get fed enhancement talent at first. We're not going to see him take on any big names. Who would be the first big name he defeats?
LA Knight.
That was the first name that popped in my head too, honestly.
Oh, ouch. Damn.
I know, but it would be a hell of a win for him. And LA Knight knows how to eat losses at this point.
Yeah, he does. And I hate to do this, but I have to.
Dummy, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
But like I said, I'm not saying he debuts and wins a championship, but a lot can happen between now and SummerSlam to build him up. All he needs is credible wins. That's all he's going to need, especially if a couple of them are over a former world champion.
But if you're feeding him to Zawa for the first couple of weeks, I think you're like running out of time
But
to
Brock
give him
got
a win.
Yeah, but Brock got fed enhancement talent in his debuts. I want to say
just like Strowman, just like any like giant who's like joining the main roster.
You know what? What if, and I'm going to say this, I don't see them doing it, but what a moment it would be, is who's one person that had trouble defeating Brock Lesnar one-on-one? In recent memory since 2020, we'll say.
Everybody?
No, but one person very specifically who every time he had a one-on-one match, something happened that interfered. A la Heist of the Century. Yes. What if Roman is to return, let's say, on Monday Night Raw or something, and Oba just debuts and decimates the Tribal Chief?
They wouldn't do that.
No, again, I literally said they wouldn't do this, but what if? I know you don't see me, but I know you can understand the words that are coming out of my mouth. Oh, we need that sound clip. But just the general idea, like if you're going to have somebody make an impact, what makes a bigger impact than Roman being out there, say, calling out Braun Breaker or the Vision or something, and Oba Femi just interrupts and decimates him?
You don't really need for him to do anything that impactful, though, to debut.
And we also don't need Bronson Reed jumping on people, laying on cars, but here we are.
Oh, no, that's absolutely necessary.
No, it's really not. But again, here we are. Like, we're talking about high impact moments. Even if it doesn't, just the idea that he just came out and decimated the longest reigning champion in the last, 30 years? 40 years? Longer than that? 50 years? I don't even know now. I'd have to actually go look up to see. Well, the longest reigning champion whose name was not Bruno Sammartino or Hulk Hogan. Again, it's just an impactful debut. Does it have to lead to anything right away? No. But now that's a pin in something you have to go back to. Where Roman's like, Oba, I'm going to deal with you, but first I got some gold to go try and win. I got a Royal Rumble to go enter. I got bigger things on my plate than some rookie who wants to make an impact.
Also, I don't think Roman would be the ideal person for that feud. If in your scenario where he debuts by beating someone up, I don't think Roman would fit as the right person.
No. I was just looking more at where they are. As if I'm going to look at somebody for Oba to come out and completely destroy because Oba, I have a feeling, is going to be a baby face. He's going to get the baby face pop right away. Yeah. That somebody imagine if he destroyed Bronson Reed.
That would be crazy.
I'm just looking at who are some of the bigger guys, if he is going to Raw, that would be that impact. I don't
think he's going to be feuding that high in the card. I think he'll be fighting Tozawa.
As enhancement matches, yes, but when it comes to him having a feud and to put him over, because here's how it goes. His first match will be Tozawa. His second match will be Otis. His third match will probably be a handicap match where he still hands them their asses. And then we get him calling somebody out because he wants real competition. And then, unfortunately, in that scenario, a guy who just can't keep his mouth shut at times, LA Knight will be the one to come out and then get decimated by him.
Yeah, sounds right.
And there won't even be a rematch.
Yeah,
that's not even going to be a feud. Yeah.
No.
So then what's the feud? What's the storyline? What's the feud?
The question was that we said LA Knight to was who's his first.
All right, so now what's the feud? What's the feud that leads to something with him at WrestleMania?
Dom. Dom.
Mysterio, sure. That IC belt.
Oh, I don't like it because it's not a good matchup on paper.
Yeah, it is.
How is it not?
I have a feeling by the time we get to WrestleMania, there's going to be so much dissension in the Judgment Day. He's going to have no help.
That's
And
what we
with
thought
no
this time
help,
last year.
and with no help, he's getting squashed.
No, because he
How?
learned from his father. Lie, cheat,
Yeah.
and steal.
Dominic does not. That's not even a storyline. That's just, hey Dom, thanks for doing so great with the Intercontinental title. We are now going to job you out in the first 30 seconds of this match, and you're going to be lucky to get a punch off.
I think that would be a pretty even match, honestly.
I
No.
think
I think Dom would
is
obviously
widely-
win the feud, but it would definitely be pretty even.
If that's his first feud and Oba loses his first feud to Dominic Mysterio, you have now put Oba Femi in Omos territory, where he becomes
Kind of where I see him
irrelevant.
right now. Like,
And I'm setting
he
myself to
he is
catering after
way
a
above
comment
Omos
like that.
already.
not necessarily Omos territory, but I don't see him any higher than the Intercontinental division right now. And it's a stretch saying Dom because he's the champion. He'll probably have a feud with Sheamus or something. Like,
Is it
you know,
because
it'll probably
Oba's
end up
not a
like
party
that.
girl? It's because Oba's not a party girl. That's what it is. It's because he
He has
actually
too
has
much personality.
I wouldn't mind seeing Oba versus Rusev.
Yeah,
no,
Rusev, Sheamus. Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I had said last week.
There are some really good things there, but he should run through them all.
Eh,
They're all veterans. He's a rookie. Until he gets in a feud where somebody can get the best of him,
Rusev,
I don't think Rusev's the one.
you think way too highly of Oba, man.
I think Oba should be pushed to the moon like Brock Lesnar was in his
Yeah,
debut. 'cause
should
we
be,
haven't
but right
seen-
now he's
When was the
not
last time we
even on
saw
Rusev's
something?
level.
Oh, why? Because Rusev went to AEW and failed? All right, Oba, you need to go to AEW and fail real quick. Oh, and you also need to have a Russian wife you break up with.
None of that has anything to do with what I said.
What has Rusev done that's been so important?
More than Oba's ever going to do by the look of it. Like,
What?
like
I
honestly,
gotta
like,
dispute that.
he would be a good first feud. I couldn't see, you know, I could definitely.
But Oba
see,
shouldn't lose at any point in that feud.
if you're going with the undefeated thing, but I think like making him less of a god and more fallible like does more for like suspension.
When
of
has
disbelief.
Oba in NXT actually he's lost, but when has he looked beatable?
When he lost.
No. All right, I'm just saying you're going into the match. Yes, Tony D'Angelo did beat him for the North American title, but it says more of what somebody had to dig down to do it. When you put him in the ring with somebody like a Rusev, like a Sheamus, they don't have to dig as deep as somebody we would say as a Dominic Mysterio would have to dig deep and hit like 6 chair shots and 4 frog splashes just to hope to get a 2.5 count.
Which is what his father did all the time.
Yeah, or Dom could just get counted out or pull the whole chair thing, you know.
All right, so then Oba's still undefeated and doesn't win the championship. So that just makes your heel look like a coward running away from something, which typical heel move. I'm 100% for something like that, and that's because that's a Dominic move, just to get counted out. But if the match happens at WrestleMania, the fans will rebel. You don't
Not
do
if
that
it's
at
done right.
WrestleMania.
Yeah, no, not if you do it right.
There's no way you book Dominic just walking out in one of the biggest matches that he's ever going to have. Because Dominic's never going to be world champion. And if you think Dominic...
right.
All right, hold on. Let's have the discussion real quick. Who's world champion first? Dominic Mysterio or Oba Femi?
Dom.
And you both are smoking crack.
I don't even know if
Hey, we both had the same answer at the same time, so what's that telling you?
That you're both wrong. Dominic can be a 2-time Intercontinental Champion. He can be the AAA Champion, former Tag Team Champion. You know what's the one thing he's not going to have before Obafemi? World Championship gold.
I think he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's better than Ray, and Ray.
Logan Paul will win the World Championship before Dominic Mysterio.
False.
Logan Paul will win the World Championship before Oba, too.
Okay, I think both of those statements were false.
I'm just saying, like, when you look at it, what would you have said when Brock Lesnar debuted? Oh, he's going to go beat Gilbert for the light heavyweight championship. As a matter of fact,
Brock Lesnar was not a light heavyweight.
No, yeah, he wasn't.
all right, who was Intercontinental Champion at that time?
I don't know.
Oh my God! Like what? The Honky Tonk Man?
It wasn't that long.
But if you're going to sit there and legitimately tell me, oh, I saw Brock Lesnar, I could see Brock Lesnar winning the world title in his first 6 months when he debuted in 2002 with a much tougher road to it than what Obafemi would have. And I'm not you, Chef. BJ made that statement.
What? I was looking for what my dog was doing.
Yeah, my dog's doing weird stuff right now, too.
One, two.
There's no way you can tell me if you saw
have a
it with
dog that you're seeing, BJ. It's not this dry January is really doing a number on you.
But if you can't see Brock, you saw Brock Lesnar being a world champion by SummerSlam. Why don't you see it in Oba?
Because he's not where Brock was when he debuted.
He's better than Brock Lesnar.
Maybe
It's
he
a
will be.
different
Maybe.
era.
Yeah, it's a different era. You put Brock Lesnar
no.
up against these giants like Oba. Like there aren't really any giants anymore. You know.
So then there's no reason why Oba shouldn't run through the roster. Especially if you're going, let's just say this, CM Punk is still world champion at SummerSlam. Obafemi wins King of the Ring. He gets that championship match. How does CM Punk defeat Obafemi?
By getting counted out and keeping his belt.
Because
that way.
him winning King of the Ring would be one way to have him as a babyface matchup. Because now it's just a title shot that's owed to the winner of that tournament.
Right.
Or CM Punk turns heel by then, which I would love to see another heel Punk run.
We're not getting that.
Yeah,
At least
I
not
know.
anytime soon.
Yeah, I know, unfortunately.
You'd have to move too many pieces around to get to that point. Just for the balance.
But just, no, Obafemi is the next coming of Brock Lesnar. And before the end of 2026, he will be world champion. Or WWE champion. Who knows how things play out, what show he'll be on by the time that we're at the end of the year and John Cena's been gone for a year.
I'm going to disagree with both of those statements. I just haven't seen enough from him.
2-time NXT champion, former North American champion. And I do believe he won the breakout tournament as well when he debuted.
Yes.
He has done nothing but shined in NXT. And he has the look, he has the charisma, he has more personality than Goldberg and Brock Lesnar combined. It's not like we're talking about the Big Show here or the Great Khali.
Now there's personal.
Or Omos. We're not talking about these giants who have no athleticism in the ring. Brock Lesnar has athleticism in the ring, especially when he debuted the things he could do. And then you turn around, look at Obafemi, and I see those exact same things. I don't understand how you don't see it.
I mean, he'll be world champion in like 27, 28. I just don't see it happening in the next year. I see his ceiling in the next year being Intercontinental Champion.
I mean, even if that's the case, I could see him in a situation. God, Chef's not going to like this, but
Oh, no.
I'm going to say it. If I'm going to do that, then would be my plan. I let him have a sort of undefeated streak where he could lose a match by count out or by disqualification, but
like
he's
an unpinned and untapped.
Yes,
kind of
to
yeah.
go that way, so you could say there's a loss there, but he's never been pinned or submitted. He wins the mid-card championship, and then just like Goldberg did when he was United States champion, he holds that championship until he becomes world champion.
I could see that.
I'm fine with that.
And that could all happen in this calendar year.
mm,
I don't know why you said I wouldn't like that.
why the rush?
Because
to
I
put-
mentioned Goldberg.
Why the rush to put the gold on him? Like, there are so many people right now who are worthy of a title shot more than someone who hasn't even debuted on the main roster yet. Like why the rush to put the gold on him? I would rather see a run from LA Knight first. I would rather see a run from Braun Breaker first.
WWE's never going to put the belt on LA Knight. If they were going to, they would have already done it. Let's be
Not until they
perfectly
turn him
honest.
heel.
Even then, they're not going to do it. I don't think they see that in him. To be perfectly honest, and it's a travesty because he would be a great world champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Oh,
champion TNA, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Other things to talk about real quick, because boy, did that conversation eat up a lot of conversation. But we got to have one of those conversations once a week that eat up the show. Let's talk about 3 stages of hell. Speaking of world championships,
Sure.
and
Need another beer for this.
well, while we're waiting for him to get back,
Sure.
what was your impression of Andrade's return on Dynamite this week?
You mean Andrade returns to AEW Take 2? Yeah. Okay. It finally happened. We got Andrade back.
Or is
he's
this
part
Take
of the
3?
Callis family?
Or is this technically Take 3?
Well, it's his second return there, and the first one was cut short
but-
because WWE they realized that he still had a non-compete or something. I don't know.
Well, I was also talking about he had already been there before going back to WWE.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just saying that this was now him coming back, and officially this is now his second return to AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah. So his second return, yeah. And
How about,
yeah,
I hate
so-
to say it, he's going to have a couple big matches, he's going to do a couple things, and then get lost in obscurity.
again, just like he did last time,
Who we
just
talking
like he
about,
does every
Andrade?
time.
Andrade at the moment until you returned.
That's what I figured.
Yeah.
Just hearing the context. I hope not. I popped for his return.
It was hard for me to pop for it because as soon as I saw the mask, I knew who it was.
Oh,
and
same, yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a
And the
good
crowd was
decision.
chanting it.
It's like I saw him appear. I'm like, oh look, Andrade, Take
It's
2.
Austin Theory.
I mean, Andrade's mask is his face. It's like Rey Mysterio's mask. You see it, you know who's underneath it. Unlike El Grande Americano's mask, who you see it, you don't know who the hell's underneath it.
Yeah, there's no telling. That could be anybody.
Yeah, it could be Austin Theory. It
Bingo.
could. Hey, it could have been the Fabulous Moolah.
Well, no,
She
because she did.
Bye bye, bitch.
Yes, exactly.
I'm sorry.
All right, so yeah, onward to the triple
There's
threat.
something
or not
else.
triple threat.
I wanted to bring up. Jake something debuting in AEW
Yes.
this week as
Yeah.
Jake Doyle under his real name.
Yep. Yeah.
Mox and Shelton Benjamin had an amazing qualifier
good
match this
yeah.
week. I thought it was
MVP
cool to
was
see
cool.
the Jack Perry Young Bucks teaming up as faces.
Yeah. Yep.
Even though I kind of saw it coming, I'm like, oh, who would he pick? Let me think. Oh, the Bucks, of course.
Yeah.
We kind of talked about Mercedes earlier, right?
touched on it. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yep.
we do not think she's going to be in the Rumble.
No.
No.
I thought the Lights Out match was real amazing. That is a contender for my match of the week. But yes, let's get to 3 stages of hell. Now, right before this match, they aired a video package with Nick Aldis announcing a tournament of sorts where there's going to be 4 matches. The winner of those matches go into a fatal 4-way the following week. The winner of that will face the WWE champion at the Royal Rumble.
Mm-hmm.
These matches are Orton vs. Miz, Matt Cardona versus Trick Williams, Damian Priest versus Solo Sikoa, and Sami Zayn versus Dragunov.
All right, let's go through and pick each of these matches one by one.
Orton over Miz, Trick
Yeah.
over
Yep.
Cardona,
Yeah,
Yes.
Priest over Solo because of the Wyatts,
Yeah.
and Dragunov over Zayn.
yeah. I don't know. Maybe Zayn.
I could see Sammy winning that one.
I mean, so could I, but something, even though I have Jacob Fatu as my pick to win the Rumble, I'm sticking with it. Part of me could see, because they're in Saudi, Sammy winning the Rumble.
Yeah. Yeah, they always make a big deal about him being in the Arabian countries. But yeah, I could definitely see Sammy winning that match. I could also, I get the whole Wyatt interference, but I could also see Solo winning that because of MFTV interference.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be a case of he's going to come out with the lantern, and MFT might be out there with them, or one of them will be, but eventually it'll bring everybody out. It'll be a distraction to him, and he'll turn around and just catch that razor's edge and go down for the 3 count.
Priest joins Wyatt 6.
So does that make them the Priest 7?
Well, no, there's only 5 of them.
Oh, yeah, there is. You're right. Because nope. There is 6. Bray and Spirit.
Well, yeah.
But then I would say the bigger question is who comes out of this as number 1 contender?
While I would love to see Orton McIntyre. Oh man, there's a couple good matchups in there. Zayn.
I think Orton McIntyre's the way to go for the Rumble.
Yeah, it's the biggest draw.
Yeah.
Zayn would
although
be nice.
I mean, they've been pushing Sammy a decent amount lately. I could see it being him.
Sammy gets a
Yeah.
title shot at Saturday night's main event in Montreal.
That makes more sense.
Yup.
But all right, let's talk about this main event.
What do you guys want to talk about?
You losing the WWE Championship, sir.
Yeah, we kind of called it,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
we
What was that? You kind
did
of
not
broke up.
expect to see Jacob Fatu.
Yeah.
Nope.
Yeah, that was a surprise. Although, I feel like after Cody went for the cutter off of the side of the thing instead of going over the top, he deserved to lose.
No. So a couple things of how they did this match. One, how McIntyre wins the first fall, hitting that low blow with the ref's back turned. And the ref even turned around like, I know something just happened.
Yep. Yeah.
I love that Cody got the second pinfall with the
Yeah.
move through the announce
Table
table.
spot. Yep.
Yeah, because we never see that anymore. It always goes somewhere else, or they somehow manage to kick out. Like, I remember when somebody went through the announce table, that was the end all of everything.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Cody also didn't have to try to drag him back into the ring. It was a false count anywhere, so he was able to just stay on top of him and start the count. So no time to recover means, yeah, you're going to have less time to kick out.
Yes.
But then,
the
the
most
cage match portion.
Was the most interesting part.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah.
obviously, Drew starts making his way to the open door there, which we know how I generally feel about the open door policy for cage matches.
That's
But
not how you win the match.
But it was
this one
done
actually
perfectly.
worked. This one worked. Yeah. Yeah, having Jacob appear and start beating down Drew as he's making his way to the open door, and then turning his attention to Cody once Cody realizes what's going on and stops him, and Drew takes full advantage and just crawls his way out and falls on the floor and wins.
And again, he did it, and as we all said, that is the heel way to win a steel cage match, is going through that door.
Mm-hmm.
So, do we think Jacob's attacker is either Cody or Drew?
I think it's Drew. Why else would he gone after? He would have gone after Cody first. He went after Cody because Cody got in his way of going after Drew.
Yeah.
Okay.
And now that Drew has a belt around his waist, that just makes Jacob want to go after him that much more.
Yeah, they did really well with that. Jacob Fatu's return is very well timed because now he is a legit favorite to win the Rumble.
Mm-hmm. Facts.
Because I don't see Cody winning the Rumble.
No.
But if he does, if for some reason Cody is to win the Rumble, I think he goes after Punk.
Would that be his third Rumble win?
Yes, and there's only one other person with 3 Royal Rumble wins, and that's Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Same guy with only 2 back-to-backs, right?
Did Cody win back-to-back years?
Well, that's what I mean. Like, Cody and Stone Cold are the only 2 with back-to-backs, and
Shawn Michaels.
If you were to, what's that?
I think Shawn Michaels won back-to-back years.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The 1 year he won, and then I think the second year was when he did number 1.
From number 1, yeah. He pretty much took a nap through that whole Rumble.
I will confirm that, though. Oh, I'm sorry. Hulk Hogan won back-to-back years first.
No way.
90-91.
Oh, wow.
Shawn Michaels did it 95-96. Stone Cold 97-98. Vince won it in 99. Rock 2000. And then, Stone Cold won it for the third time in 2001.
The best Rumble of all time.
Wow, Brock Lesnar won in I forgot Brock Lesnar won in 2003 before the end of his first official year.
Yeah.
And then He Shall Not Be Named won in Philly in 2004. Let's see, back to back, going through. Yeah, then Cody Rhodes is the most recent one to win the back-to-backs. So I don't see him winning it for a third time. Maybe this is Jey Uso's year to win back-to-back Rumbles.
No, it's not. Please, no, it's not. They're in the tag belt. They've got the tag belts now. He doesn't need to win the Rumble this year.
Shawn Michaels and John Cena, when they had their WrestleMania Championship match, were tag team champions.
Yeah, I don't want Jey Uso again, is my point.
Jimmy versus Jay for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Don't want it. Don't want it.
That.
Don't want it.
I don't want it neither, but just because you don't want it, I want it to happen. But yeah, so
Jimmy versus Jay versus Roman versus Solo.
Versus Jacob Fatu with Ava as the referee.
And Rikishi as special enforcer.
Yeah, I don't want any of that.
which is why it has to happen. So with Jacob Fatu's return, how long till we see him get a shot at Drew?
Soon.
Oh, yeah. I would think, if not at Rumble, very soon after, maybe Elimination Chamber.
I think Jacob's in the Elimination Chamber. So unless one of them's for a championship, like I said before, I definitely think now that the long-term setup and them doing this and putting the title on Drew, it seemed like they were already getting ready to put Jacob in the title picture. So I see no reason why that would stop now. And that you try to hold off on it as long as possible. Maybe he gets a match, Drew cheats to win. But in all reality, the next most thing would be is Jacob winning the Rumble and getting that match, unless Drew cost him that Rumble somehow.
I think Fatu definitely makes the Final Four, if not wins.
Yeah. All right, so we've talked about a lot.
Mhm.
What is everybody's match of the week?
I'm gonna go with the 3 Stages of Hell match on SmackDown. It was a big match. Can't deny that. Drew winning the title, makes it that much bigger. Jacob Fatu returning adds another layer onto it. So yeah, I'm going with that one.
There were a lot of good matches this week. A lot of them good, none of them really amazing. The 3
Not
Stages of
counting
Hell.
Maxine versus Becky Lynch, which was absolutely horrible.
We said a lot,
And
not all.
Way to give away my pick. Fine, I'll pick something else.
you would pick the drizzling shit.
Moxley and Shelton was a great match. In a week where nothing really, except maybe that 3 Stages of Hell match, nothing really was like that amazing, but there were some really good matches. Yeah, I'm going to go with Moxley and Shelton. MVP on commentary was beautiful.
I'm stuck between the world title match on Raw, because that was really good, but it had a lot of moving parts to it.
Yeah.
But I think I'm in agreement with Chef with 3 Stages of Hell. It had less moving parts, and it was a more intense feud, I feel like, at this point.
Yeah, definitely a longer lasting feud because, Braun versus CM Punk hadn't had a chance to start up until a couple months ago.
It is probably a little rushed because of the whole Seth thing.
Yeah, definitely. Because in reality, what we would have seen if Seth never got injured would probably be Seth as champion still.
Or
with CM Punk chasing.
Yeah. And then eventually Breaker turn on him and debut.
Which, again, I think would have happened the Raw after Mania.
Or it could be caused at Mania.
Yeah. Like that, yeah. Somewhere in that 24-hour period of the main event of WrestleMania or 48-hour period, whatever night they would have been on.
Yeah. Oh. But yeah, that was, like I said, a lot of very good stuff, but nothing really that amazing.
Yeah, agreed.
I thought that Ova and not Javon Evans, Leon Slater was an absolute. I feel like
that was a
all
really
the
good match too.
I feel like all the main events, at least for WWE this week, all being world title top title matches, were all great matches.
Yeah.
Oba Femi just got the idea that one will stick in my head because of how the show ended with him vacating the championship. Essentially
Yeah.
pulling an Asuka who did that with the women's NXT Championship. But yeah, it looks like they have some stuff geared up for this week, which will be fun to watch.
And I just want to say, Friday night there was a 19-man Rumble at the Pro Wrestling
20
Star
man
Academy. It was 19, wasn't it?
20.
Oh, okay. Well, he says it was 20. They
I
on the
wasn't there, so
broadcast
I
they
couldn't
said
tell you.
19. But yeah, amazing stuff. If you get a chance, go ahead and watch that. DG, do you have the what do you call it? Why can't I think of this right now? The thing you scan, QR code.
Oh.
Yes.
Yes. Scan
Yeah.
this QR code here. Go check out SPO Wrestling on YouTube and go watch the most recent SPO Live /TRL event so you'll know what we'll be talking about on Tuesday.
Yeah, that Rumble was just a lot of fun. And I've made a decision since we do a second show now about the local stuff, and I'm not picking any local matches for my match of the week. I'll do that on that show. Or else some of these local matches would have been my match of the week.
Yeah,
Some of these
which,
weeks.
just real quick, February 7th, there's APP will be having a show at the Pro Wrestling Star Academy. Let me bring that up. Got some matches here I'm going to throw up here.
Oh, and I didn't even finish that point. So the Rumble was for the first entrant into the Crazy 8 match. If you don't know what that is, definitely go ahead and look that up. And my man Tarzan Duran is going to be the first entrant. You may know him from JCW, GCW, or PWU. But
And speaking of him, just real quick as well, January 24th, PWU Sub-Zero. Tarzan Duran will be taking on the Flip in a
That match.
one-on-one match.
that match is going to be sick.
Something
Yeah.
else we'll be talking about was Big Rel, who will be teaming with the Shot Callers against the Silk City Kings, and AJF made an appearance this past Tuesday.
Right?
We have Lucky taking on Rulo in a singles match. No Lucky
Interesting.
Scramble this time.
Keep it moving.
Okay.
Ooh.
And then
Big
Billboard
singles
Billy
match.
Gold taking on Bull James. And then Brittany Blake taking on Vita Von Star in some women's pro wrestling action. We also have Rick effing Blade
Yeah.
getting his one-on-one rematch against Justified JP Grayson, which we have some stuff to talk about from this past week as well with that.
Yep.
And then also Skywalker Championship, Pat Dynamite defending against Corazon, who we have not seen in SPO in quite a while.
Very long
Yeah,
time. Since
last
Walker.
year we saw him last year in Cortisone.
And then let's not forget the career casket match between Kid Legend and Face. Also, real quick, WrestleMania weekend, PWU, will be in Vegas.
Insane.
And a match has already been announced. It will be Gangrel taking on Matt Tremont.
Crazy.
Absolute insanity.
Yeah.
But on that note, I think it's time for us to get the heck out of here.
Sure.
Yeah, I want to
why
watch this
don't
fourth
we,
quarter in peace.
1,
Yep.
2, 3. Ring the bell. Get out of here.
Everybody, have a good weekend. Well, I guess rest of the weekend, and we will see you Tuesday for some Indie Spotlight. Be good to each other. See you then.
Yeah.
Everybody watching, I'm gonna need you to visit www.freakkings.com. Check out all the merch. And before you do that, I'm gonna need you to check out PJDG, YouTube and Instagram. And while you're doing that, you won't have to remember the name, cause you'll remember the face.